Moses Itauma will no longer be fighting on the Joe Joyce Filip Hrgović card because he was supposed to fight on there. They were looking for an opponent for him, but apparently they've been unable to secure one. And so instead, Itauma will fight on May 24th in Scotland. It says here, the 20-year-old appeared to be heading for an undercard slot on Queensberry Promotions' Heavy Impact event, headlined by Joe Joyce against Filip Hrgović in Manchester on April 5. The ring understands that the 21-0 Albanian Nelson Heisa was in the running to face Itauma at the Co-op Live Arena that night, but there has now been a change of plans. Instead, Itauma, who is 11-0 9 KOs and considered perhaps the hottest prospect in world boxing, will head north to Scotland to box at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow. At the top of the bill, Josh Taylor returns to the ring for the first time in a year following his defeat to Jack Catterall when he faces former British and Commonwealth champion Echo Esserman. Now Queensberry are finalising an opponent for Itauma, although it is unlikely that Heisa will get the nod. Now, before I talk about Itauma, Josh Taylor versus Echo Esserman is quite an interesting fight. Esserman's been in some barn burners over the past year or so, 18 months. But yeah, Moses Itauma, the story here for him is that if his next fight is going to be on May 24th, then that means he will not break Mike Tyson's record. So the Mike Tyson diehards, the Mike Tyson fanboys can breathe a sigh of relief because it would have been horrifying to them for Tyson's record to be broken. I've said that I wanted to see Itauma break Mike Tyson's record. It was obviously always going to be difficult because Mike Tyson was in a unique position when he turned pro in that the boxing landscape, certainly the heavyweight landscape, allowed for him to fight a ridiculous number of times in his first 2 years. He turned pro at 18 and he was, well over 20 fights, 25, 26 fights, whatever it was, by the time he challenged Trevor Berbick just 2 years later. Unfortunately for Moses Itauma, in the current boxing landscape, fighting that frequently, at least in televised bouts, is simply not possible. He signed a promotional contract with Frank Warren when he turned over, and therefore he is beholden to Warren in the sense that he can only get out the number of times that Warren puts shows on. And as I say, he was going to be very hard-pressed to break Mike Tyson's record unless the belts got fragmented sooner than they have, because there's only one belt that's been broken off Usyk. That was always a possibility, but it hasn't turned out to actually happen. So yeah, Itauma will not break Mike Tyson's record if his next bout is on May 24th. I think the deadline for breaking Mike Tyson's record would have been May 21st, there or thereabouts. Mike Tyson fanboys, breathe a sigh of relief. Tyson's record is safe again for now. Itauma, I think, had a decent chance if he could have got a shot at maybe a vacant belt against the right opponent, but it looks like it won't be happening for him. Are you surrounded by mindless bots in human form who adhere to the norm and blindly conform? Who swallow all the mainstream BS and actually ridicule you for questioning things? Do you wish you had more free-thinking individuals in your life to network and converse with? Well, look no further. We're right here. Come and join the Brotherhood of Reason on Patreon. You'll gain access to my weekly topical content where we take deep dives on an endless variety of subjects, as well as my vast back catalogue of podcasts, videos, interviews, movie decodings, and my Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You'll also get to talk and network with myself and hundreds of other people in our members chat. You can enjoy all this via the Patreon app or on desktop and download all my podcasts in high-quality MP3. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store, or simply visit patreon.com on a web browser. Then head on over to my page and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.